Let's get to it. It is time for the first manager's report of the season with Mike Shildt, refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. And we welcome in the skipper of the San Diego Padres from Chicago, Illinois. Mike Shildt joining us here on 97.3 The Fan. Mike, congratulations on the heck of a homestand to start the season. That was something to watch.
Yeah, it was good baseball, and good to do it at home in front of the Friar faithful.
I wanted to thank you again for literally saving our ass at when we were out at spring training on that
nice,
that Friday. Literally, like, we had nothing, Shilty, and I happened to see your truck in the parking lot. I go, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to text him, and you came out. You helped us kill about 35 minutes, and you just saved our bacon. And I haven't talked to you since, so I wanted to thank you again for saving us from drowning live on the radio that day. It was a really cool thing for you to do, and I'm glad we got this whole deal done for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, you guys have jobs to do, and we had a night game, and you guys evidently out there and kind of watching the tumbleweeds, and but glad I could help you out.
I've never seen it more dead out there. And we always talk about it every year. Spring training, and for broadcasters, for the fans, it's so tough to wait. Like, we're all impatient, and we're ready to get the season started. To come out of the gates firing like you guys have, and beat two teams that were in the playoffs last year, got to feel pretty good to get off to that start. What's kind of the message in the locker room for the guys right now? They look like they're having an absolute blast.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about those guys enjoying themselves. We got to, clearly a talented group, but a fun group, and we want those energies and personalities to come out. And the message is pretty consistent. It's not like a day-to-day, like, oh, we're going to change, do this, we're going to now talk about that because this is happening. No, we talk about playing and going out and being prepared to play good baseball.
Of course, he could be forgiven if Jackson Merrill had an off day after all the commotion yesterday with the news conference and the signing of his contract extension, and he goes out and hits a home run. I mean, I don't know what else you can say, Mike. You had some nice words about him during the press conference, but knowing that he's going to be around in a Padres uniform for years to come, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to celebrate him a little bit on the plane or anything like that, but the floor is yours about Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of superlatives that I can say about Jackson, and that includes his baseball talent. He's just a really put together young man that has his head on straight, that just cares about people, cares about the organization, cares about winning, and, really clearly has some real ability and desire to compete, and he uses his ability to help us win ball games. I mean, those are traits that, we talk about, and they sound easy, but they're not, to have that kind of, total package, and Jackson clearly has it, and good for him, good for us, good for everybody listening that supports and roots for the Padres, because he's one of these generational guys that come along that helps move the needle towards greatness, and so we're excited to have him.
Talking to the skipper, Mike Shildt, here on Ben and Woods this morning. One of the things that jumped out for me yesterday listening to him talk was when he talked about checking in on his buddies, that were still down there grinding in the minor leagues and wanting to take care of them and check in on them. I just thought that spoke to what kind of person he is. And it's always one of my favorite stories, Shilty, is like when guys get set down for a rehab assignment, the big leaguers, and some of them have been in the league 5-10 years or whatever, when they go down and they take care of all the minor leaguers, they buy them a big spread or take them out to buy new suits and stuff like that. I just think those are the coolest stories.
I bet you saw that a few times
yeah.
when you were managing and coaching in the minor leagues too.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, is some of the guys that would come down and do cool stuff.
Yeah, the one thing about baseball, many things. Yeah, I've been on the good side of that, and those are great days. Thankfully, the minor leagues have changed a little bit with some of the conditions and how guys are taken care of and fed and traveled, but it's not always Shangri-La, and it definitely wasn't for the years I was there. We loved it still, but the point you're getting at is, yeah, those are great days when somebody's going to come down and buy the Outback spread, and you were eating right. It was good living. But the thing about the thing about minor league baseball or professional baseball, really, actually, in a big picture, is virtually every guy has had to go through a minor league setting. And, listen, guys get their signing bonuses, some more than others. Some get virtually nothing. But, the money is just not very good. The accommodations are, like I said, have improved. But point I'm getting at, it's a tough road, man. Nobody's going to cry for anybody for playing professional baseball. That's not the point of this. But, people do think it's glamorous but to be on the side of the ledger where people are chasing their dreams and playing, and again, people are like, you're playing baseball every day. What's to be better than that? Well, really not a whole lot, quite frankly. But the reality is, it's easier said than done.
Sure.
And the wrap up point to it is, it's quite a road for these guys to get to where they get to, where it is clearly more glamorous and prosperous at the big league level. But for guys to get to that level and then not forget where they come from, and when they do go back, appreciate where those guys are dealing with, sleeping 3 or 4 to a apartment, going back and forth between A-ball, AA, AAA, having young families in some cases that they don't know day to day what city they're going to be in, and having to uproot and move. It's quite the journey. So those guys always appreciate when they come back.
It's our manager's report with Mike Shildt, refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. And let me talk about another one of your young stars. Fernando Tatis Jr. is off to a terrific start. Might actually be a little overshadowed by Gavin Sheets and Jackson Merrill right now, but I saw the stat yesterday, and this surprised me. He's only struck out once and not in 6 games. Is he doing something differently this year, Mike, in terms of his approach at the plate? Because we haven't seen this kind of contact from Fernando his entire career.
He's really dedicated to end zone plate discipline. If you look at, the 1 strikeout, but you can probably look at the walks too, and they're up. And so he's just he recognizes how dangerous he is, and is going to stay dangerous in the zone. And he's proven he's been able to do that really his whole career. But now he's marrying the dangerousness to making sure he can get pitches to handle him, and laying off pitches that he can't do as much with, and just allowing people to tiptoe around him in the situation, because he knows he's got Louie and Manny behind him. So just to play zone discipline and the approach of using the whole field, which he's done it for his career, but he's really intentional about using the whole field.
Good to see Luis Arraez hit a bomb yesterday, get a couple of knocks out of the way. It's always odd to me when he doesn't hit, Skipper. And I know, people were like, "Hey, Woodsy, are you worried about Luis Arraez?" I said, "No, I'm not worried about Luis Arraez, and Mike Shildt's not either." I mean, the guy's a professional hitter. Really, bat to ball. There's really nobody better than Luis Arraez, and he's moved so many guys over this year. He's done some things to help you guys win ball games. Has he? I imagine that his attitude is always the same every day, that he's upbeat and positive. Does he get down on himself when he's not hitting?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. No. I mean, he's just constantly full of energy, and I love that about him.
Well, here's the thing that, listen, I don't know how to really share this, but, people think there's something wrong with Luis because he's not getting hit.
Right.
But if you barrel balls at people, and you do play the game when it's called for and move guys over, what's wrong? It's baseball. I mean, the guy's barreled almost every swing he's taken, and it's gone at somebody. That's why, like, the reaction or overreaction just doesn't take place in general with we or us. Now it's different if, he's swinging and missing, and, but he's not. So, he's taken as good at bats as he's taken since he's been a Padre, and people are behind the baseball sometimes when he's hit. And like I said, he's had productive outs. So he's actually swung the bat well.
Yeah. As he told us at spring training, hitting's very, very hard. It's not impossible.
And it's just one of the best quotes of all time. I mean,
he's amazing.
He's amazing. It's just incredible.
Your pitching staff has been amazing as well. Maybe lost in the shuffle. 4 runs the last 49 innings, and specifically, Mike, the bullpen. I mean, as a manager, that must be great for you, right? To know that whoever you call on out there, whether it's Robert Suarez or Omar Cruz, that they're going to have some nasty stuff for the other team to deal with.
Yeah, bullpen's been great. I mean, those guys have been fantastic. They're in sync with how they want to get guys out. The preparation has been really good. The catching has got clear awareness of how we're competing and using the stuff that the pitchers have. And they've been aggressive and been able to throw a lot of quality strikes, and defense has been on point to help them. So it's been very good.
How's what's the day like for you in Chicago today? You got a tough customer tomorrow on the bump in Shota Imanaga. He's got pretty nasty stuff. He's thrown it well this year. Going to be a tough order, playing in some probably not great conditions. What's the game plan for today?
What am I going to do today?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to have some lunch. I'm going to sit down and do a couple hours worth of prep work, and I'm going to have dinner.
It's an easy day.
How does your prep change, knowing, and I haven't seen the weather. I know the Midwest though has got wind and potential rain, and you may have to, there may be moving around, or who knows, a doubleheader at some point, and I don't know what the exact forecast is, but how much do you have to think about that in terms of pitching and who's available and rest days and stuff?
I mean, listen, the game's always evolving, changing. Right now, I know the game's at 1:20 tomorrow. I'm planning for that game. If things happen, just like during every series, things change. You just adjust and adapt. So, we talk about being elite adjusters, but right now we got a 1:20 game tomorrow, and that's all I know.
Well,
ready for it.
We will have it for you here on 97.3 The Fan. Mike, it was great chatting with you. We'll catch up with you again in a couple of weeks, and hopefully the Padres keep on winning, because we're loving this.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Mike Shildt, the manager. A manager's report refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925.